Hello and welcome to this segment of Loving Life. I'm Charlie Silva, board certified hypnotist and certified professional life coach. I've helped many people take back control of their life and achieve their goals by asking the following question. Loving life, are you loving yours? If so, wonderful. If not, why not? If there's something that's stopping you from loving your life, what is it? And let's find ways to overcome it. If you missed any previous segments of Loving Life, you can watch them online at the MTN18 website, mtn18.com. Now, as I've mentioned in previous segments of Loving Life, one of my favorite websites filled with wonderful, empowering information is www.zenhabits.net. Now, this website is updated regularly by Leo Babauta. Leo is a blogger and author. He created Zen Habits and wrote the best-selling books Focus, The Power of Less, and Zen to Done. He's a former journalist and started Zen Habits to chronicle and share what he's learned while changing a number of habits that he considered negative. Habits such as smoking, overeating, and procrastinating. In this segment of Loving Life, we'll focus on how Leo maintains, and I agree, that living without regrets can certainly be a challenge. We've all heard the phrase, no regrets, usually said when someone is about to do something that may be a little unwise, and yet, as alluring as the living without regrets philosophy sounds, it's not always so easy. We regret missed opportunities. We regret things that made us feel dumb. We regret not telling someone we loved them more often before they died. We regret not spending our time more wisely, accomplishing more. We regret procrastinating, not forming better habits, eating too much junk food, not writing the novel we always wanted to write, not reading all the books we planned to read, not mastering a foreign language. We regret getting into bad relationships or making mistakes in a past relationship. Yes, we all tend to regret things, and sometimes it can be consuming. So why do we have regrets? Well, simply put, we end up regretting choices we make because we worry that we should have made other choices. We think we should have done something better, but didn't. We should have chosen a better mate, but didn't. We should have taken that more exciting but risky job, but didn't. We should have been more disciplined, but weren't. We regret these choices, which are in the past and cannot be changed, because we compare them to an ideal path that we think we should have taken. We have an idea in our heads of what could have been if only a different choice had been made. The problem is that we cannot change those choices. So we keep comparing the unchangeable choice we actually made to this ideal, this fantasy. It cannot be changed, and it will never be as good as the ideal. The unchangeable choice that we made will always seem worse if it didn't result in what we expected. It spins around and around in our heads. Why can't we let it go? What's so important that we need to keep thinking about it? Well, let's look at a possible answer to that question. Why do we keep thinking about regret? As Leo states, he's noticed that he's had a challenging time not thinking about a bad choice because of how it conflicts with his self-identity. And I found that to be the case whenever I began thinking of choices that I perhaps should not have made. We all have this idea of who we are. We're good people. Perhaps we're smart or competent or good-hearted. We make the best choices we can, of course, because we're good people. Even if you have some self-doubt and a somewhat less than positive self-image, you probably think that you're still basically a good person. And so when someone else attacks that identity, insults your competence, calls you a liar, says that you're a cheater, it hurts. We get angry and defensive. We find it difficult to stop thinking about this situation. And even when we believe we made a mistake, this also is an attack on that identity. We made a bad choice. Why couldn't we have been a better person and made a better choice? This bad choice conflicts with our idea of we're a good person. The problem spins around and around without some real resolution. There's no way to solve this problem because the bad choice can't be changed, and we find it difficult to resolve the conflict with our self-identity. So how do we let go of regret? Well, when we decide to take the time to examine why we have regret and why it's so difficult to let go, we can see a couple of root causes that we can address. We compare past choices to an ideal, and we have an ideal identity that conflicts with the idea of the bad choice. These both revolve around ideals, which are not reality, but our fantasies of how we'd like reality to go. They're basically made up and not helpful. In this case, these ideals are actually causing us anguish. So the practice is to let go of the ideals and embrace reality. And here's the reality of those two root causes. The first reality is that the choice we made in the past is done, and we cannot change it. And in fact, there's actually some good in the choice if we choose to see it. Being able to make the choice at all is an amazing thing, as is being alive and learning from our experiences, and being in the presence of other really great people, etc. And we can be satisfied with our choices and see them as good enough instead of always hoping for the perfect choices. Some choices will be great, some won't be perfect, and we can embrace the entire range of choices we make. Now, the second reality is that we are not actually always good. And in fact, our identity can encompass a whole range of being. We are sometimes good, sometimes not, and sometimes somewhere in between. We make mistakes, we do good things, we care, we're selfish, we're honest, and sometimes aren't honest. We are all of it, and so making a bad choice isn't in conflict with that more flexible and realistic self-identity. It's a part of it. Now, I realize that's all easier said than done, but when we find ourselves obsessing over past choices, we can do certain things to help ourselves. We can recognize that we're falling into this pattern. We can realize that there's some ideal we're comparing our choices and ourselves to, and we can simply let go of these perfect ideals and embrace a wider range of reality. This needs to be a consistent practice, but it helps us not look for perfection, not constantly review past choices. Instead, we can find satisfaction in what we've done and focus on what we're doing now. Regrets are a part of life, whether we want them or not, whether we're aware we're having them or not. But by looking into the cause of regrets and embracing the wide range of reality, we can learn to be satisfied with our choices, allow ourselves to be okay with the past, and realize that we have the God-given ability to be happier in the present moment. And that, as Leo points out, is a choice you won't regret. And as you know, hypnosis is a wonderful tool to help you change your subconscious programming so you can actually be at peace with your past choices while looking forward to your future. And be sure to check my website for upcoming Take Back Control of Your Life workshops. The workshops are free of charge. If you have goals you'd like to achieve but have been unable to do so, attending one of my workshops may be all you need to take back control of your life. Well, I'm sure I've given you some things, positive things, to think about. Send any questions or comments you have to me at charlie@mtn18.com, and I'll answer them in future segments of Loving Life. I'm Charlie Silva, and I'm asking you, loving life, are you loving yours? If so, wonderful. If not, why not? If there's something that's stopping you from loving your life, what is it? And let's find ways to overcome it. Always remember that you are awesome. Have a wonderful day filled with love and gratitude.